Today we're going to talk about a wonderful little creature for your freshwater aquarium called the mystery snail or the apple snail. These snails come in several varieties and colors, where black and golden are the most popular ones that you'll find at your local pet stores. In the wild, these snails come from China or from the Amazon River in South America, but there is a small isolated wild population in the United States. These snails are about 1 to 2 inches in size and much bigger than those nuisance snails like the ram snails or the pond snails or some of those other snails that you'll find in aquariums. These snails can be wonderful little helpers for your aquarium. They love to eat algae off the side of your tank and off your plants and off your aquarium decorations, so they're very good at helping keeping your tank clean. But they also like to eat fish food, algae pellets, rotting stuff, and vegetables like carrots, lettuce, peas, and beans, so you can supplement their diets with these items, especially the algae pellets, which you can get at your local pet store. The mystery snail will not overpopulate your tank because unlike the nuisance snails, which are hermaphroditic, meaning they have both male and female parts and therefore can reproduce very rapidly, the mystery snail is either male or female, and they have to get together to breed. If they do, the female will go up to the top, she'll lay an egg case above the water line, and then in a few days those little snails will all hatch, break through the egg case, and float down to the bottom and be part of the snail population. However, if you do not want additional snails, you simply scrape the egg case off the tank and discard it, and you won't have any snails. With optimal aquarium conditions, your snail will live between 1 to 2 years. Like every other snail, they move on one large foot, but what's unique about these snails is on the top of their foot towards the back, they have what's called a trapdoor, which when they want to protect themselves, they'll curl up in their shell and they'll close that trapdoor, which keeps them safe from predators. These snails have both lungs and gills, so they will go up to the top by the water line, they'll extend their siphon, and they'll pump their little heads, and by doing that, that pulls air into their lungs and into their shell. These snails also like to sleep, so while you might think your snail is dead, he actually might be just sleeping, and they can sleep for several hours at a time. So the way you know if they're dead or not is if you reach down and get them, bring them up, tap on their little trap door, and if they move, then you'll know that they're still alive. Another unique characteristic about these snails is they'll float. They'll pump air into their shell and they'll close up, and then they'll just kind of float on the water line where they will stay there and rest, and then once they're ready to sink and go and eat and wake up, then they will expel the air and fall to the bottom. These snails prefer a water pH of 6.5 to 8.0. They of course like clean water. They would like enough food, so they feed very well on those algae pellets I had spoken of before, and you can easily find those at any local pet store. They do like live plants as well, and also lettuce and carrots and peas and green beans, but make sure if you feed them those to pull those out after he's done eating so it doesn't foul the water. These snails are better housed with non-aggressive fish so that they do not get eaten. And a good water temperature for these snails is 68 to 85 degrees. If it's too cold, they'll hibernate, and if it's too hot, they tend to be really active, and it shortens their life. I hope you've enjoyed learning about mystery snails today. They are a wonderful addition to your tank and very fun to watch, and I think you'll enjoy them.